Guys, what's up? What's up? Simon here. Elon Musk finally did it. He bought Twitter and it freaked a lot of people out, and a lot of people are unhappy about it. Some people are happy about it. Some more of the conservative population that was banned on Twitter finally got their accounts back, which is funny. As soon as he bought it, then Elon went crazy and tweeted that he may even buy Coca-Cola and put cocaine back into their recipe, which was insane. But in this video, we're going to talk about what this means for freedom of speech, what this means for Twitter. We're going to go over some crazy meltdowns on Twitter of people threatening to leave the platform just because he bought it, saying that he's going to hinder free speech when he's fighting for free speech. And then even Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, said that Elon Musk is the singular person he trusts to make the platform better for everybody. And that was pretty incredible. So we're going to go into what this means for Twitter, what it may mean for their stock, and what I think of this whole situation. Let's get into this video. But before I do, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Check out some of my other videos on Elon Musk and anything else that might be interesting to you. People, for whatever reason, in the media had a meltdown when Elon finally purchased Twitter. Twitter at first denied or made it hard for Elon to own the company, and then the board got it together because that company was a mess. They've been around the same amount of time as Facebook and some of the other companies, and they have not done anything to bring back profits into the business. They were run very poorly with a lot of politics or political views that were associated with Twitter. So Elon bought the single biggest media quick platform to get your voice out. And at this time, it's an incredible move. The board finally accepted his generous offer of the $54.20, and they agreed to accept his bid. Now, Elon has to get the $44 billion together to make it work. If he doesn't do that, he has a $1 billion penalty, and he recently had to sell a bunch of Tesla stock, I believe $12 billion worth, probably to help purchase Twitter as well. Him buying Twitter is a good move for him because Twitter stock will eventually go up. He's going to put a new CEO in, a new board, going to try to monetize the platform, which Twitter has been failing to do in the past almost decade. Elon Musk's goal for buying Twitter, of course, was the freedom of speech or free speech, and I think he's going to be able to achieve that. He said that a good society or a good standing society is a society where you take a person that you don't like, saying what you don't like he's saying or she's saying, and you still allow them the platform to listen to it. So even criticizing himself, he said, I hope my biggest critics do not leave the platform because that's what freedom of speech is. You should be able to voice your opinion. And I totally agree with that. I think he is the single most person that could make that platform bigger, but also create a better change for this woke narrative we have seen in the past year, where a lot of people are afraid to stand up for what they believe in, fearing that they would lose their job, they would lose their position at work, they would lose, their friends, they would lose their family members who don't agree with them, and the list goes on, and it applies to schools and to everything around you. It's pretty crazy. So Elon could actually potentially make a better change for the world by allowing individuals, whether people agree with them or not, to voice an opinion. Now, this does not mean that he's going to allow for violent opinion or a narrative that's going to harm someone. There are still going to be policies, but just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean you are no longer allowed to speak on Twitter, which is pretty cool. So some stars or celebrities said that they are going to leave Twitter There are activists and such as Sean King. This guy nearly had a heart attack and really was against this opinion. I saw a bid on CNBC or MSNBC, excuse me, where they were saying that this is the worst thing that could happen to freedom of speech, and Elon Musk only cares about freedom of speech for white people. They actually said that on TV. Elon Musk is from Africa, which is incredible. Some actress I never heard of, Jamila Jamil, has 1 million followers on there, said it's her last tweet. But then the homie Ice Cube said, "Free at last, take me off the shadow ban, Elon," so he was happy. And there were even army veterans saying that this is a bad idea. I mean, the big problem with Elon owning Twitter outright is you have a billionaire that owns one of the biggest communication platforms in the world. And although he is one of the single biggest members on Twitter in terms of followers with over 80 million, he will have a lot of control of a narrative on there, and that's what people are worried about. After they accepted the bid, Musk said this of Twitter. He called it a digital town square where matters that are vital to the future of humanity are debated. And he wants to tap into the company's potential because no one has, as I mentioned before. The deal will probably close in the next 3 to 6 months, and although the board unanimously approved this bid, it still has to go to the shareholders, which I think they will approve it as well. Some of the changes Musk wants to have on Twitter include an addition of an edit button, which is pretty cool. He wants people to be able to subscribe to Twitter Blue and also allowed to pay for it by Dogecoin, which I'm a fan of. If you haven't seen my Dogecoin videos, I put $75,000 in Dogecoin at 7 cents and at one point nearly made $800,000, which I should have sold. I'm going to cry. He also wants Twitter to have an algorithm that shows certain posts to certain users to increase trust in the platform. And of course, he wants to get rid of the spam bots. And who likes spam bots? They're everywhere nowadays. You can't read a comment without seeing 500 spam bots asking you to contact them for investments or dating, and they're all lonely for whatever reason. The biggest thing is, I wonder what's going to happen to the Twitter headquarters because Twitter is in San Francisco. I have a condo that's about a block away from the Twitter headquarters. Is that area going to clean up? Is he going to bring all the employees back? And then I've read some rumors that he may actually take Twitter and move it to Austin, where he currently resides. So that would be crazy because Twitter is a San Francisco staple. And they were allowed to stay in San Francisco with tax incentives when they took over their office on 10th Street. But overall, if he also moves the headquarters and gets rid of employees or potentially has a layoff, this would mean a lot to a lot of the Twitter people. Now, Twitter employees are also upset about this, and they have been posting with their dislike of the recent sale. And it's because once a person like Elon Musk comes in, it almost reminds me of an Entourage, Ari Gold firing everybody.
I'm Jake Steinberg. HR sent me up to replace your last assistant.
I don't care. Get me Eddie Kapowski on the phone.
Any relation to Kelly Kapowski? You know, Saved by the Bell?
You're finished. Go. You're fucking fired.
Where he walks around the office and just telling everybody they're fired. I think that's what's going to happen at Twitter coming up. So there will be no more bias, hopefully, on Twitter if the deal goes through. If not, Elon Musk loses $1 billion, which is nothing to him, I guess. But overall, I think he's taken his money in the right direction, and he's trying to make the world a better place with the ability to debate any topics that people want to without the fear of being reprimanded, shadow banned, silenced, you name it. Twitter's been doing it. And I'm glad that this is happening to the platform, and it is one of the single biggest moves. Now, can you imagine if Elon Musk also decides to say buy CNN? CNN has been one of the most struggling networks out there, and CNN Plus just recently completely closed and shut down. And CNN is only worth about $6 billion. In comparison to Twitter, which was $44 billion, he could also buy a potential media platform and change that around if he needs to do that. CNN, I believe, is owned as a parent company of AT&T somewhere in the middle, which is pretty interesting. So we will see what will happen with CNN if Elon Musk decides to even influence more of his power and purchase another media platform. That would be incredible, because I haven't watched CNN since like high school, when they actually reported some cool, good quality news. So overall, I think Elon Musk is doing a great job. My favorite CEO, my favorite entrepreneur, just a man that will tackle things on and will attempt to make things better in society and not just enjoy his billions of dollars like, say, Jeff Bezos, who actually tweeted against Elon Musk in a way which was not direct, but saying that he wonders if Elon Musk purchasing Twitter is going to give China more power over the platform, because Elon produces Teslas in China. So I don't know if that was a nice comment by Jeff Bezos, who's always on yachts that I see. And Elon, I don't know if he even responded to that comment. But overall, I think he's a great example of a successful businessman that wants to do better by society. Elon also seemed to have been going at it with Bill Gates recently, and he posted an emoji, a pregnant man emoji, and a pregnant Bill Gates lookalike emoji in comparison on Twitter. I thought that was pretty bold. So these billionaires are going at it. I find it kind of funny. He did say something smirky in there, saying that this is the quickest way to lose a boner. And I couldn't believe he tweeted that. So it didn't hurt my feelings, but I don't know how Bill Gates felt about it. And by the way, have you guys ever checked to see why Bill Gates is buying the most farmland in America? I still don't know. Can anybody answer that in a comment below? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video on Elon Musk buying Twitter, what I think of it, etc. I think the stock is going to go up. Am I going to invest in the stock? No, but I totally think it's going to go up. Elon's going to need to get his money back. The stock of Twitter is down by a lot. Within 1 year, they are down about 11%, 10%. 1019, and at their high peak it looks like Twitter stock was around $70.37 now, and overall it was at a low point of $33.49 around March, and you know, he's buying it at $54.20. On April 6th, it was $50.77. It's at about $50 now. So it's still a reasonable offer. It's probably going to hit back up to its peaks at one point with him making changes, meeting some quarterly results. And the 52-week high of $73 is not a impossibility at this point with the right leadership on one of the most biggest platforms. So possibly a good investment, but even better for society. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below. Do you like that he bought it, or do you think it's going to limit other people's freedom of speech by him opening up certain type of free speech from the other side? And what do you think this means for society? Is he a responsible billionaire? Does he have that right as a billionaire to purchase one of the biggest media platforms out today? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys here in the next video.